welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for November the 5th through November the 11th. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe it. 2 weeks in a row I have the most subscribers I've ever had. I am so grateful to you. Thank you. If you're new, welcome. I'm really happy that you stopped by, and I hope you come back, and I hope you really like these readings. And if you are coming back, I so appreciate your loyalty and your consistent love and appreciation and support of this channel. Thank you so much. Now, guys, there's a new moon coming up in the middle of the week, so I'm going to do individual horoscopes at the beginning of each video. This is just the intro. This is a general reading, guys. It's a collective reading. There may be a little bit of the message for you, there may be a lot of it, and it may be for somebody else. So take what resonates and just leave the rest. If nothing resonates, please come back next week, because you may have a message in there for you. You know, I channel messages from my guides. I use the tarot as a tool, and I've had some really amazing feedback. So I want to thank all my spirit guides and my angels and spirit animals for these wonderful, this wonderful blessing of being able to give these messages. I'm very appreciative. Now, what else? So if you would like a personal reading, guys, click on this right here and it'll take you to my website. You can see the kind of readings that I give. Choose one, purchase one, and then contact me and we'll make an appointment. What else? Yes, and another way to support me is through Patreon. And you can click on this for Patreon, this link here, and that will take you to my Patreon page, and you can make a one-time donation. It's just a little way of, you know, giving back if you can. If you can't, that's totally fine. Please give back by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Without further ado, oh, and also if you want to ask a quick question, you can find me on Instant Go. All the links will be in the Show More section below. And let's go to your reading, shall we? Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading for November the 5th through November the 11th. And your horoscope, there could be sudden changes for you this coming week. You could, and usually kind of in your career sector, you could lose a client, you may even lose a job, I don't know, or hear about a job ending or something coming to completion. On the other hand, you could be offered a new job or an opportunity or get new clients. So it really depends on your natal chart, really, but this is a general reading, a general horoscope for Leos. And also, don't forget Tuesday, if you're in America, go out and vote, darling. Let's change the world. I don't usually politicize my readings, but it's important. Get out there and vote, darling. And I will leave, also check out Vote 411. .org, the website, and you can find out who your candidates are, and you can read all about them, and you can really be informed about who you're voting for. And don't leave a box unchecked, but only do it if you are informed. Anyway, let me get back to your reading. So listen, you could have changes in mood as well this week. That's because of the new moon in Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio is very intense. Now for you, you could kind of, I want to say, you could be manipulated by people. You could kind of, I don't want to say sacrifice yourself, but almost you can, people can win arguments with you in terms of your family or your children, if you have any, or close, you know, your partner, romantic partners. So you could easily be manipulated. That's all I'm going to say. Which, listen, it's not the worst thing. But you could have, don't understand that these are celestial influences in your life. And so remember that when you start to feel a little down. Remember that it's transient. It won't be here for long. It'll pass you by. And darling, yes, it will. Because on the, towards the end of the week, Jupiter, that beautiful, magnificent, beneficent planet, benefic planet, is going to be moving into Sagittarius. Darling, it's coming home. It's going to stretch out. It's going to be, there's abundance for everyone. There is expansion. There's a wonderful feeling of positivity and optimism, and really being interested in higher learning and philosophy, and really being intellectually inspired. So this will play a big part in you. You're going to be feeling energized, and you're going to want to be out there and socialize the old you back on top, feeling, a star, feeling like a star again, Leo. You love to feel like the star. So this is really wonderful. You'll be motivated at work when things are, when situations are aligned with your belief systems and your, so higher learning, intellect, creativity. You're going to be very inspired by that. Now, the only thing I would look out for is ego. So remember, because it's such an exciting energy that's going to come in for all of us, really. But just remember that whatever you focus on will expand in a huge way. Keep your focus on things that really matter to you, on creativity, on positivity, on optimism. Make long-term optimistic plans. This is just the one. You'll be interested in travel, and exploration. Keep things on a really positive note, and because whatever you focus on will expand. So you do not want to be in a negative space at all this week. I mean, of course, we will fluctuate because this moon is extremely intense in Scorpio. Scorpio is one of the most intense emotional signs in the zodiac. So we do feel that energy. Some of us to more of an extent than others. And the sun, with this new moon, obviously is right there. They're on top of each other. They're next to each other, the sun and the moon. And the sun is your ruler. So there will be, swings in moods and ups and downs. But overall, it looks amazing. So anyway, Leo, let's go to your cards, shall we? And the first card out for you is the Ace of Swords. Darling, the Ace of Swords is, I call this the Ganesh of the tarot. The Ace of Swords comes in and it removes obstacles from your past. From your path, not your past. Could be your past. Sometimes it's a bit slow going, right? Because it's like, think of the Ace of Swords of a big machete, and you're going through the jungle and there's thick vegetation and you've got to cut a path for yourself. It's that kind of, there's, you've got to put some backbone into it. Don't be dissuaded by any blockages. Right? Because this is saying, even if you feel that there's a block for you, the Ace of Swords is saying that, don't worry, I'm going to remove it. You might have to put a little blood, sweat and tears into it, but it's going to be removed. So sometimes this is one of those gifts, if you will, and a start with something that has the potential to be amazing, but it can be a little challenging sometimes, this start. Don't give up. That's what this is saying. Don't give up. The sword is here to help you remove all those obstacles so that you can move forward, because you are on the right path, Leo. And look, clarifying it, is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about movement, right? It's about moving forward. But the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles moves very slowly. It's a slow movement forward. So you may feel perhaps a little frustrated that things aren't going as fast as you want them to, but they are going. And the Knight of Pentacles, because knights are about movement, he's a knight that really makes strategic moves, right? He's there, he's ready for action, but he doesn't rush in and just, with his sword ablazing and go into a fight willy-nilly. No. He goes in, first of all, he stands still and he surveys, he looks around and he looks at the best move for him to make. He makes strategic moves. He plans his moves very carefully. He's very astute. He's very intelligent. He's not going to cause harm to anyone or himself if he can help it. He's not going to get into a fight that doesn't need to be fought, and expend energy that doesn't need to be spent. So he is definitely about taking his time. But nonetheless, he moves forward methodically and strategically. So that's definitely a message. And then the next card you have, Leo, is the Page of Pentacles. Look, you're ready for the next phase of your life, Leo. This is saying it's going to be translucent, this card, because of my green screen. It's going to be like see-through. This card represents, look, pages, they are messengers. So you could get a really good message. This is abundance, right? Through hard work, Leo. So this is about, nothing is going to be handed to you on a silver platter. That's for sure when this card comes in. It's about working hard. But nonetheless, it will be rewarded. Your hard work will be rewarded. And this is saying, look, the pages, right? They've served under the knights and they've learned everything, that they have all the knowledge, right? They don't have the experience. So this can indicate that you are ready for the next phase of your life. You're moving on to bigger and better things. And I'm smiling because clarifying it is the Six of Swords, darling. This is about, look, sailing away to greener pastures. When the Six of Swords comes up, it says to me that you might be a little bit afraid of what's ahead because you're unsure. But when the Six of Swords comes in, it's saying you must move forward. Get in the boat, darling, and sail away. Go. Keep going. You know that you can't stay where you're at. It's not working, and it's run its course. It's like this. You've learned all you've got to do. Now you've got to take the next step. You've got to move forward with this. You've got to think strategically of what you're going to do next, because it's time for you to move on. Leo, get in the boat and go on to greener pastures. And look, the next card you have is the King of Wands, and this is passion. This is someone that's out there networking. He's like socializing. He's, very gregarious, and people love him. Now, the one thing about the King of Wands, right, is very, very passionate. But he's an amazing leader when he puts principles first, or spirituality first. So you're being asked to you've got to be guided by spirit. You have to really ask for spirit's help. You've got to put the good of the group before yourself. It's got to be, you can't sacrifice yourself, don't get me wrong. It's not about sacrificing yourself, but it is about being spiritually led. So to me, this is like karmic, karma. It's about doing the right things for the right reasons. It's about thinking of the karmic value of each decision that you make. It's about moving forward in kindness and compassion, but definitely passion. Look, this is fire. That's you. Your element is fire. You are passionate, creative. This is very creative. But don't forget, and this to me, this is what it goes with the horoscope. It's about don't let your ego get in the way. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. It's about not allowing your ego to take over, right? So it is about being spiritually centered. Don't allow your ego to take over, because it's when things are happening really wonderfully for you, it's hard not to let the ego get in. It's like we've got to, temper those passionate and innate character. Oh, this is the okay. I thought when this came up, I'm sorry, it kind of looks a bit like the Hierophant, not the Hierophant. The Hermit. I thought this was the Hermit. It kind of looks like the Hermit. This is actually the Five of Cups. You might be feeling a little disappointed that things didn't work out quite the way you wanted them to. And this is focusing on something that you can't have. So I feel that this is also, you've really got to take the focus and be spiritually centered. As I said in your horoscope, you must think of your cup as half full. This is half empty. This is a half empty cup card. This is about focusing on what you haven't got instead of focusing on what you have. It's very easy to focus on what we haven't got. It's like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. No, focus on all that you have. Start the look, be in gratitude. Be in gratitude for everything that you have. And I always say it's very hard to get from a half empty glass to a half full glass. But how you do that is increments, small steps, like the Knight of Pentacles. It's a slow going thing, but you start by little. Like, I'm so grateful I woke up. I'm so grateful for this cup of coffee. I'm so grateful for this glass of water. I'm so grateful for little tiny things. And you keep saying that, and you keep saying it to yourself. And every time you see something, you're like, oh, I'm really happy that I have that. And really notice, you'll start to be grateful. So it'll be so easy for you. It'll be second nature, Leo. And then you will only see things that you're grateful for. And guess what? That attracts more things to be grateful for. And that is, don't forget to be in that energy of being grateful, in gratitude, because don't forget, we have Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, darling. We want an abundance of, things to be grateful for, don't we? And so we have to be in that energy. So you are the cards are saying, be spiritually centered and be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you have. Don't focus on what hasn't worked. Don't focus on what isn't working. Don't focus on what you don't have, what you couldn't get, because you'll get everything and more than you can even dream of if you can be spiritually centered and in gratitude. Leo, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, comment, because I love comments and feedback, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.